and fix everything. We're all set. We're all ready. It's AIT Promotions in the spotlight. Hey, Heather.
Hey, how are you?
I am well, thank you. We're going to do this twice. I don't know if I mentioned that to you, but we're going to do this twice because the first time we're talking about promotions as it relates to events because you're in the EE Event Ensemble Spotlight. But I'd love to sit down with you a second time and talk about promotions outside of events for our extended audience that's other than just event people. Okay, great. So AIT, what is that?
AIT stands for Always in Touch.
Oh.
And it is the way that we can go ahead and say, you want to build a relationship, you want to go ahead and stay in touch. Promotional products can help do that.
Okay, so 1,000 people do this with catalogs and online and all that crazy stuff. Why are we going through AIT?
I have more than 20, in fact, it's really closer to 30 years in the gift and promotional industry. I try and relate to what my client needs. I try and be there for not just the usual questions, but the unusual ones as well, helping them really get their message out. Promotional products are more than just the pen and the cup. They are a tangible way that you can touch someone, that you can go ahead and build that relationship. And that's what we try and do.
Okay, so you talk about the usual and the unusual. So I'm assuming that the pen and the cup are the usual.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the unusual?
Well, in today's world, the unusual might be considered the mask.
And I have one that you sent me. I love it. Thank you.
It's actually, that particular one is really a very comfortable mask. And if you have to wear a mask, let's wear one that's comfortable. But yeah, in today's world, there has been a definite change in what we're looking at. So yeah, masks might be considered something that we would never have thought of a year and a half ago. So I do put that into kind of the unusual situation. When it comes to events, I have been asked about all different types of things. We did an event for a young lady whose theme was more along the line of the masked ball. And not only did we help them source an assortment of different types of decorated masks, but then what she wanted as her giveaway, which was on the table for everyone, they were the sleeping mask, and it had beautiful, I don't want to just call it a logo, but her theme, her design, it was on the invitations. And yes, we went ahead and we helped go ahead and put that onto the sleeping mask. All of her friends, they were getting together the following night for a slumber party, so it made it even more so. So that was something a little bit unusual. I mean, we've done masks for other types of situations. The sleeping masks, they were used actually for a sleep center several years ago, but that was the first time that we'd actually used it at a party. And it was fun. It was definitely, it was in the colors, it was beautiful lavender, and it just really, it helped set the theme even more. So, you know, that type of situation. But we've done some terrific gifts. I want to say even an unusual, it's a mug, and I happen to have it right here.
Oh.
this mug has, and I don't know whether you can really see it, but it has
Put it next to you, and then we'll
okay.
be able to see it. There you go.
Okay. It actually has a speckled design to the mug itself, and that I know you really can't see. But the message that was going on here was throw kindness like confetti. And the speckles on the mug looked like confetti.
Mhm.
So in that sense, yes, it was a mug and it could be used, but it gave a particular message. And so we helped source a mug that was going to really enhance that message. So yeah.
So your many years in the business really helps to allow people to say, well, I've got this idea, I've got this concept, and you can then turn around and quickly, without going through a gazillion things, say, I know just what you're looking for.
Yes. And I say that with great confidence. I have been stumped. There have been a few times that I've not been able to do what is needed, but we've come up with other things that could work just as well. So yeah, having a variety of different types of sources, working with people in both the promotional products people, the vendors, the suppliers there, but also I've been able to go ahead and source a variety of different things that come from the gift end, and then have them logoed and a message. Another unusual one that we had, it was an award in a sense. It was being given to an outgoing president of an organization, and they wanted something totally different. We're not talking the normal award or, I mean, it very different. And what we ended up with, it was a cut slab, beautiful cut slab of wood with a rough edging. And we had the hanger made to attach on the back. But the entire piece was engraved with a favorite saying and presented. And so it was, and it was a large piece. The actual slab was about 17 inches.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, and so it very definitely. We also included a special wrought iron stand that if she wanted to stand it instead of hang it, it could be done either way. So
it's all about the display. So
yeah.
Obviously it sounds like you can do many or just the one-off.
It certainly depends on what it is. And we have a lot of different suppliers that we can order just one. Certainly sometimes there is a cost factor, and people are sometimes surprised that, yeah, we can do the one. It may cost double what it would if you were ordering 50, but we can do that one.
And why not just order 50 and right. Have extra?
Depending on what it is.
Well, that yes.
Very, very nice.
Because everybody wants 49 mugs in their house that says, congratulations, Bob.
Absolutely. No. But yeah, we have vendors that we can do one. We have suppliers that we can get one piece engraved or one piece embroidered, or whatever it needs to be. So we do have a variety of different types of people that we work with that we can depend on. And I was telling somebody just yesterday, they said, what types of vendors do we use? After all these years in the industry, I have chosen not to really use anybody who is not an A or an A plus, maybe a B plus, but that's the lowest I'll go. I want to know that who I'm dealing with is going to come through with product that is going to be perfect, that it's going to be on time, that we're not going to have any issues, that we're going to have something that I can proudly say, here, this is what is going to be used for your event or for, your employees or whatever it happens to be. So I do choose to work with vendors who only have the higher ratings. And sometimes that has limited us as to, it's either this style or this style. If you want something else, yes, there's others out there, but you may have to go elsewhere for it.
Well, it's about protecting your brand and the quality of what you're going to provide to your
Exactly.
end user, their customer.
Exactly.
I always tell people that these interviews are designed to make you look good. So I'm right here at the edge of what might be construed as a gotcha question, but I think that we're friends enough long enough that I can jump in here and ask this question, because I recognize that what you do does not make you a designer. You're not a graphic designer. You're not an artist. You may be artistic, but you're not an artist, if you catch my
Okay.
drift. And I can't tell you how many times, whether it's a printer or a promotional products company, that will receive something from a client who says, I want you to put my phrase or my logo or whatever it is on this thing. And it looks awful. It's their thing and they're in love with it and they think it's beautiful. And you just kind of go, ooh. So what do you do about that?
Well, it has happened. In fact, I'm working on a project right now. It's for t-shirts, and the design is actually a lovely design, but it's not in the proper format.
Mm.
And so we have to have it recreated. And people don't always understand or want to accept the fact that what they have provided is not
This
either in
thing,
the proper format.
right? This thing that I've
No.
drawn on a napkin, you can't just put that on the mug.
No.
And the graphic is this big. Why can you not fit it on a pen?
And that really is one of the situations that we run into all the time. Having to have people, again, that I work with. No, I am not a graphic designer. I have one in the family, but she's always too busy to help me out. But being able to go ahead and know that I do have additional sources, so that we can help get that huge phrase down to where it might fit on what they want. And then there are times when it's not going to work. And I have to be very open and upfront with people and say, this is not going to fit on that particular item. You might want to look at this instead and go a slightly different way. And so, yeah, we have, I don't want to say on a daily basis, but very definitely, there's a lot of times when people will go ahead and hand me something, send me something, and say, I need this. Okay. And you know that you are going to have additional art charges. Why? Because what you've handed me is a drawing that you did, and we have to have it created so that they can have camera ready art. And it's definitely, it's the explanation. So
Camera ready art. But the nice thing is, I'm assuming that once it's created, is there transfer value? In other words, if we create a camera ready for this t-shirt, it'll transfer to other
most
promotional
times, yes.
products?
Yes, most times it will. Again, if it is on a pen, I'm looking at a pen. Happen to have one right here. And a pen has really a very small area, and a font can only go down so small before it becomes obliterated.
I can't read that.
And it's not even just a question of not being able to read it. It's what ends up happening, whether it's being laser engraved on something or whether it's being printed with an ink type situation. If the type is too small, it will fill in. And most of my companies, they will send things back and going, this font is too small. We can't do it. Go this way. And at least I have something that I can have a suggestion saying, we're going to change this a little bit. We're going to have it look like this. We always ask for proof. I don't care whether we're doing t-shirts, whether we're doing custom napkins, which we've done quite a bit of. It really doesn't matter what the item is. The pen, most definitely. I always ask my vendors for a proof. My client has to sign off on that proof. If they don't, it's not being done. And that's to protect them, it's to protect me, and quite honestly, it's also to protect the vendor. We're partners. So yeah, being able to go ahead and know that something is still going to come out well. My own logo, AIT Promotions, products to help build your brand. Now, I have a beautiful water bottle that was done, and because we wanted it to have it going horizontal rather than a vertical design, we had to lay it out differently. And so products to build your brand was put next to rather than underneath. And it came out great. This is a horizontal logo. And yeah, it could very definitely, I mean, having a name, well, it's backwards, but having the name on there and so forth. But yeah, being able to go ahead and know that it's going to still look good. And so sometimes it is a question of, you know, perhaps a different type of a layout. What can we do? How can we do it? So we do what we can.
And what you do is actually wonderful. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time to spend with us today to talk about AIT Promotions. There's a lot more, so we're going to have to come back and do this again.
Okay. All right. Thank you.